Oregon's natural beauty is legendary. From its rugged coastlines to its lush forests and high desert landscapes. But this beauty is under threat from invasive plants. Invasive plants are species that are not native to Oregon and spread aggressively, disrupting the balance of local ecosystems. These plants are more than just a nuisance. They pose serious environmental and economic risks. Invasive plants disrupt food webs by reducing the availability of native plants that wildlife depend on for food and shelter. This leads to a decline in pollinator populations, bird species, and other wildlife. Less biodiversity leads to environmental degradation, including increased flooding and erosion, and increased wildfire risk. English ivy, for example, climbs trees and shades out native understory plants, weakening trees and making them more susceptible to falling during storms. Invasive plants can also clog waterways and water facilities, leading to costly infrastructure maintenance bills. In fact, Oregon spends millions of dollars annually on control efforts, including herbicide application, mechanical removal, and habitat restoration. Fortunately, there are ecologically friendly ways to combat invasive plants. Here are some best management practices. Number 1. Properly identify invasive plants in your landscape. Himalayan blackberry, English ivy, Scotch broom, and pea vine are a few common examples, but there are many more listed on Oregon's Department of Agriculture noxious weed list. The full list, which contains helpful images for plant identification, is linked at the end of this video. It's important to note that not all invasive plant species are categorized as noxious weeds on government lists. Legally, a noxious weed is any plant designated by a federal, state, or county government as injurious to public health, agriculture, recreation, wildlife, or property. Invasive plants are also harmful, but may not be considered noxious. Check out the resources from City of Portland and Backyard Habitat at the end of this video for additional invasive plant lists. It may surprise you to find out which plants are considered noxious or invasive in the state of Oregon. Either way, it's gotta go. Number 2, remove all invasives using the right technique for the job. Hand pulling and digging out the roots of invasive plants is effective for small infestations, while larger areas may require a more aggressive approach. A flame torch can be used to burn invasive plants and their roots, but proper fire control procedures must be followed. Check out Oregon DEQ's Burning 101 page, linked at the end of this video, to learn more about controlled burning and whether you may need a permit to use this method. Another effective, environmentally friendly, and fun approach for tackling large patches of invasive plants is hiring a working crew of goats. There are a number of small businesses in Oregon that rent out their hard-working goats for landscaping clearing needs. Number 3, stop the spread of invasives. You can help prevent the spread of invasive plants by cleaning your boots, bike tires, vehicles, and boat holes after spending time in nature. This ensures that invasive plant seeds can't travel and take root where you carry them. Avoid accidentally planting invasive species in your garden by double-checking the current noxious weed list. Number 4, spread the word to your community. Community volunteer events and education are key tools for managing invasives. Rally your neighbors to help with pulling out invasive plants in your community and let them know how harmful they can be. Share invasive plant lists and your favorite native plant alternatives. Invasive plants don't abide by property lines, so it will take a group effort to keep them under control. Number 5, plant native plants. Native plants provide critical habitat and food for native wildlife, from pollinators like bees and butterflies to birds and small mammals. Native plants are also more resilient. They require less water, fertilizer, and maintenance than non-native species, making them ideal for conserving resources and supporting biodiversity. In areas where invasive plants have been removed and replaced with native species, we've seen ecosystems bounce back. wildlife returns, soil health improves, and natural beauty is restored. Together, we can protect Oregon's natural beauty and resources by keeping invasive plants at bay. Join local restoration efforts, plant native species in your garden, and educate others about the dangers of invasive plants. By working together, we can preserve Oregon's rich biodiversity for generations to come. Reach out to EcoBiz if you're in need of further technical assistance.